Similar to pop.
Yeah.
First thing I remember about it was going on a trip with, he mentioned Judy Larson and Bill Hinckley and I don't know who all else, maybe Butch Thompson and whatever. But we had a little tour around Minnesota on a bus, I think. And I remember at the time, well, see, I grew up with radio. I'm old enough to have grown up with radio.
Okay.
And at the time, I heard this and what he was doing, and I thought, whoa, this could, just like pop, I thought, well, this could go national, which, of course, it successfully did.
When did you first go on it?
You mean after it got national?
No, you want to...
that.
Oh, the bus ride?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my first experience, yeah.
I forgot to ask you this, and I have to ask you it because we were talking about the early days of Minnesota, and you got turned on to early folk music, and you had a run-in with Bob Dylan. Well, actually, it was Robert Zimmerman, right, at the time.
Well, I forget, he was calling himself Dylan, but some people knew he was Zimmerman.
This was in Dinkytown in Minnesota.
It was kind of an intriguing kind of thing.
So he was a strange guy since you first met him.
Well, at the time, there was a bunch of us hung out in a place called the 10 O'Clock Scholar. It's a coffee house. And, there was all kinds of players and artists and, poets and intellectuals at the time. And he was, in a way, he was just another one of them. Although at the time, you could sort of sense that he had a knack with it all. And when I was playing on the ship there, after I got done playing one of these things, some guy came up to me and he says, back in 1960, shall we say, he was going to have a party, and he wanted some music, and he said he called up the 10 O'Clock Scholar, and he said he'd pay $5 to somebody who wanted to come and play. And it was me and Dylan who went to play, and he says he paid us both $5. So
that was the guy. You actually met the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was that kind of scene. It was very loose and a lot of partying and like that.
And he, although Dylan doesn't credit you, a lot of the traditional folk music that he plays, he got from you.
Well, I don't know how much that is. I've heard people say I taught him how to play the guitar and all that. They're all mostly exaggerations.
Okay.
He did treat me very nicely in his book, though, mentioning some of the old days.
When was the last time you talked to him?
Last time I talked to him would be New Year's Eve, 89-90. For some reason, he sent his boys out to pick me and Tony Glover up and took them out went out to his, I don't know, farm or whatever it is out there, and we spent the New Year's Eve there.
Oh, that's sweet.
During which time we were all sitting around and going around the circle for different people to play, and I said, I'm going to fake him out here, and I played a cappella. I sang an a cappella song, Days of 49, and without playing any music, and he had recorded that, and I mentioned it to him, and he sort of didn't realize he had,
Yeah.
But then somebody interviewed me a little bit for the newspaper, and I said, yeah, I played a cappella because I didn't want him stealing any of my.
Well, stealing in folk music, I guess when you become as famous as Dylan, it's called stealing. But generally speaking, it's
not stealing.
It's not stealing.
Fair exchange is no theft.
Spider John Koerner is here. I'm going to ask you another question on stage next week because it's a very informal concert at the Mocha Folk Night next Saturday night. And Spider John is one of the 5 performers. He'll get on stage next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. A free concert at the Museum of Contemporary Art in North Miami, and the museum will also be open that night, Saturday, March 28th from 6 to 10 p.m. And Spider John Koerner, I thought you played.
Are you going to tell me what the question is, so I can prepare myself?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll maybe take a survey and see what people want. What do most people ask you when they see you?
Well, where'd you get the name Spider?
Well, okay, I could see that, but that's pretty obvious that
Yeah,
you're a
of
tall,
course.
lanky
Yeah.
guy. I mean, it's and you all needed nicknames, I guess, right?
Well, that was part of the trying to be blues guys, like
Oh, right.
Blind Lemon Jefferson and Tampa Red and stuff like that.
Yeah. Spider John, and you're still playing good. You don't think you play as good? Well, I guess just the age thing, I suppose, huh?
Well, some of it's the age thing, and I don't play enough anymore, and some of my, what do they call it, muscle memory has faded. If I practiced, it would be, but I don't. I never practice.
So it's rare that you're out playing then.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to take her down,
Yeah, I mean,
slowly.
take her down is not a good word. How about there must be a better euphemism for resting? You're starting to rest, or
Well, actually, sometimes when people have come up to me and they say, "Hey, are you Spider John?" I say, "What's left of him?" And about 3 or 4 years ago, I was in England with a fiddle player friend of mine, and they talked me into making a record there, which is okay. But anyway, they called me up and he said, "We need a title for this thing." And I said, "Call it What's Left of Spider John."
that's clever. You have clever album titles. Your other ones with Red House was
Nobody knows the trouble I've been,
Nobody Knows the
which
Trouble.
I actually got from Judy Larson. I heard her down at the end of the bar one day, and she said that, and I thought, "Ooh, got to use that."
Really? Oh, it's very big of you to admit that.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. And the other album you had with Red House was
Raised by Humans.
Raised by Humans. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you're still out playing, even though you don't do it that often. It's
Yeah.
And so were you surprised when Garrison called you and said, "Come on a cruise"?
A little bit. I'd been on one previously, about 5 years or so ago. That one went from Boston up along the coast of Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. It's so nice of Garrison to call his old friends. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a reunion type thing.
I think that was part of the deal this particular time, was to get a bunch of us who were from the old days,
Yeah.
you know.
Cool. Spider John Koerner, how about one more tune?
Okay, I said I was going to do just bird songs this time.
Phoebe.
No. That's one possibility. You want me to switch?
No, I was just guessing that. What song are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, it could be one. I'm gonna build me a log cabin on a mountain so high, so that I can see Willie as she goes on by. Now the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, and she does not holler cuckoo till the first week in July. I have dealt my cards in England, and I dealt my cards in Spain, and I'll bet you $10 that I beat you next game. Jack of diamonds, Jack of diamonds, I know you of old. You have robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Well, I often have a wonder what makes women love men, and then I turn around and I wonder what makes men love the women. Yes, I dealt my cards in England, and I dealt my cards in Spain, and I'll bet you $10 that I beat you this game. Yeah, and a cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. She warbles as she flies, and she does not holler cuckoo till the first week in July.
Spider John Koerner live in the WLRN studio. Spider will be in concert, a free show outside of the Museum of Contemporary Art in North Miami next Saturday night. Show starts at 6, goes to 10. Spider will get on around 7 o'clock at 770 Northeast 125th Street, North Miami. What was that? What are you doing?
I'm dropping stuff on the floor.
Oh, it's okay.